Highfields, once a neighbourhood of white working class British people, it has now changed massively over the last 50 years through immigration. But the question is, has it changed for better or for the worse? And has it lost its identity? If you'd been here 50 to 60 years ago, it would have looked completely different. And today, well, depending on who you ask, some people say this is one of the most vibrant communities in Leicester, others say it's gone downhill. Let's take a walk about and have a look. These streets that you see behind me here were built for factory workers in the 1800s. Leicester was booming with the hosiery industry, and most of the people who lived here worked in those factories. Most of them would have been British, so English and Scottish, quite a few Irish here as well, and a few Polish immigrants that would have been in this area also. It was a typical community. You had pubs on every corner, the local chip shop, kids playing in the streets, no fancy cars right up until the 1950s and 60s. It was just a very good traditional community location, but times change. The traditional working class life was set to change very quickly, and factories started shutting down, people started moving out of the area, and as the 1970s hit, Highfields was about to transform completely. From the 1970s onwards, there was a massive wave of immigration into the city, mostly from Pakistan, Bangladesh and India. But these people weren't just choosing Leicester randomly, they were choosing Leicester because their family were already here, working in the mills and factories around the city. So what happened? Well, the businesses that you see all around me now started changing hands. The pubs closed down, mosques started springing up all across this area, and community centres started opening as well. And Highfields became a predominantly Southeast Asian area, South Asian location. And let's be honest, this wasn't welcomed by everybody. There was racial tension, protests, even BNP supporters trying to take back certain locations that they deemed to be white British areas. But despite all this tension and issues, it didn't stop Leicester becoming one of the most multiculturally diverse cities in the whole of the UK, by quite a long way as well. Fast forward to today, and Highfields is unrecognisable from what it was 50 years ago. Question is that a good thing or a bad thing? One thing which hasn't changed is the property around here. Rows and rows of terraced houses. Generally speaking, two types of property. Ones that have been fully renovated, extended, modernised, and ones that haven't been touched since the 1980s. Now let's be honest, some of the property around here is very, very rough, much like it is in other parts of the city as well. Some are still owned by landlords that don't invest them, and others are passed down in families that simply just don't update them, and I'm guessing this is something like that. Now, house prices. What about property prices? This is the interesting bit for me. Terraced houses in Highfields, depending on exactly where you are, between £160,000 and £220,000. Don't forget, we're in LE2 here, right on the cusp of LE5 as well. So that is really cheap compared to some locations around here. But is it cheap for a reason? So, the good and the bad parts of Highfields and buying and investing property in the Highfields location. The good side is a real community. Probably quite a solid investment. Lots of people want to live around here, and you'll always get a demand for property around here, whether it's for rental or for sale. There's also actually a lot of opportunity around here because the community is so tight. It's a lot of local businesses, not too many big chains in this location. So if you're looking to get into somewhere where you're maybe able to make a difference and really change your life around in terms of developing a business and building it up, Highfields could be a great shout. It's also really close to the city centre, great access to the train station as well. For for the good, there is also the bad. Some parts of Highfields does look quite neglected. It's rows and rows of the same types of housing with lots of cars parked on streets, and some of the areas can look a bit neglected with a lot of rubbish around as well. If you're looking for a quiet suburban lifestyle, Highfields is not it. It's busy, it's bustling. I'm here on a Saturday morning, it's not too busy, but during the week it is absolutely rammed. So here's the real question. Has Highfields changed for the better, or is it worse than it was 50 years ago? Would you buy a house here for investment or to live in? Could you live here in either rental property or purchase property? Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. And if you're into this sort of Leicester property deep dive around different areas, I've got loads more coming. So hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and I'll catch up with you soon.